Take you live now to London Road, Salt River, the site of where Rashied Staggie was gunned down, sitting in his car just outside his home, the very same street where his brother, 23 years ago in August of 1996, his brother was very publicly and traumatically set alight and shot, and visuals of which was shown across the globe. My colleague Aisha Ismail is live for us now at London Road. Aisha, you have now in the last hour or so spoken to two pastors well known in that area, well known to Rashied Staggie, one of them walking a very specific road with Rashied Staggie since his more recent release from prison. What has that given you a sense of the space that Rashied Staggie found himself in at 58 years old and in 2019, where he is now no more?
Well, what's interesting to note, Marcel, is that it depends on who you speak to. When you speak to ordinary people, they will talk to you about Rashied Staggie being a gangster, a gang leader, a gang boss. The name Rashied Staggie has become, over the years, synonymous with gangsterism and drugs. But after speaking to Pastor Hill and to Pastor Waldeck, they painted a totally different picture of this man, of this gang boss and gang leader called Rashied Staggie. They were talking about the spiritual side of this man and about the fact that he wanted to change his life, the fact that he did change his life and that he converted to Christianity and became a pastor. And as you heard Pastor Waldeck talking about Rashied Staggie earlier, saying that Rashied wanted peace. He said that he had changed his life, he wanted to make a difference in the community. But at the same time, Pastor Waldeck also alluded to the fact that the police, that government should also play their part in trying to bring about peace in areas on the Cape Flats. But let's just listen to what Pastor Stanford Hill had to say, because he's also one working on the Cape Flats. Okay, so I'm told that there's a technical problem and we don't have
viewers a little bit earlier. Allow me to continue, Aisha. I mean, the picture that you've painted of the Rashied Staggie that some people know, very different from a man who, along with his twin brother Rashied, back in the early 1970s, started this gang known as the Hard Living. Started small, from what we are told from people who have done research on the rise and rise of the Hard Livings. But they built it up into almost a corporate machine, if one could call a gang that had a network not just across the Western Cape, but indeed across the country and the world as well.
Well, they built an empire, and it was about money, and it was about power, and that is what all the gang fights are all about. It's about territory, it's about power, and it's about who is able to command power in certain areas. And as you say, it's not only confined to the Cape Flats, it's spread across the Western Cape, it's spread to the West Coast, it's even spread to rural areas. And some people that I spoke to yesterday afternoon and even last night, they were saying to us that, stop painting Rashied Staggie as a savior or as a changed person. Also think about the people, about the people that have had children who have died in gang violence, innocent people killed in gang violence, and also children who have become slaves to drugs and gangsterism. And so it's a totally different picture. It's a man with two faces. On the one hand, as I said, the fact that Rashied Staggie has become synonymous with gangsterism and drugs, and on the other hand, you speak to these two pastors and they talk about the spiritual side of this man who was wanting to bring about change in his life and bring about peace.
Aisha Ismail for us live there in London Road, Salt River. She'll continue to bring us the very latest from Cape Town over the coming hours. We'll have